And we're back now with Jacob Moore, a freshman and gymnast at the University of Michigan, who says Dr. Larry Nassar sexually assaulted him. He's the first male accuser to come forward with an abuse claim, but not the first victim, as you know. Also with me, Jeanette Antolin, a former Team USA gymnast who also alleges abuse by Dr. Nassar. But these stories of alleged misconduct do not end with gymnastics. Ariana Kukors is a world champion swimmer. Her coach, she says, groomed her from the time she was just 13 years old. She says it culminated in sexual touching when she was 16 and then beyond. And there are now dual congressional investigations looking into the claims in gymnastics. Heading those investigations up are Senators Shaheen and Senator Joni Ernst. Welcome to you all. Senators, I want to start with you. Thank you so much for being here. So can I tell you, it's such a frustration that we look at the government sometimes these days and think they can't help us, that, you know, that it's intractable, nothing gets done. This is an area where you feel you can help. How? What can be done?
Well, we have a resolution that we hope will pass that will set up a special committee to investigate what happened at the U.S. Olympic Committee. The fact is, as your guests point out this morning, it wasn't just USA Gymnastics. There was a culture at the U.S. Olympic Committee that failed to protect the safety of athletes, and that should be foremost. Someone needs to be held accountable for this.
And so, Senator Ernst, how do we get at that? How do we make that not happen elsewhere?
Absolutely, Megyn. And we are responsible for oversight as Congress. The Olympic Committee is a federally chartered organization. So we do need to make sure that we find out exactly what happened, who was informed, and how we can prevent this in the future. And so we do believe that having a select committee will find those answers, and it's imperative that we do that.
Absolutely, because it could be happening elsewhere, and that's inexcusable. I want to stand you by and speak with our guest. Jeanette, let me talk to you because you testified in court against Dr. Nassar. I know you found it empowering. We found it empowering to watch you. But you say the system, to the senator's point, the system you feel failed you in multiple ways. Tell us how.
There was just so many oversights. There were policies and procedures put in place that I was never aware of as an athlete. Things like education, educating kids on what the policies are. It was never talked about. The safety of our well-being was never put number one. It was always, the focus was money and medals, and they did anything that they could to achieve that.
The focus was money and medals. And I know it was, you feel it was atmospheric, it was endemic to the whole sport, like even down to the way the female athletes were treated in the facilities and so on.
Right. There was a complete cultural abuse. It was mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and those things kind of it made it easy for sexual abuse to slide on in there with Larry Nassar.
Because you get used to it.
Exactly. Your tolerance for abuse goes up, and so when someone is so nice like Larry comes in, you think he's the last person in the world that would want to hurt you.
And you need a soft place to fall,
right?
Which he knew and took advantage of. We don't have a new statement from USA Gymnastics, which is, you know, I mean, to a person, they have been condemned by the athletes here. But they have previously released this statement, which I want to bring to you. They say USA Gymnastics supports our athletes, like Ali Raisman, Jacob Moore, and others who have shared their experiences with abuse. We're very sorry that any athlete has been hurt by the despicable crimes of Larry Nassar. USA Gymnastics first became aware that an athlete had expressed concern about a procedure by Larry Nassar in June 2015, which led USA Gymnastics to report Nassar to the FBI and dismiss him from further involvement with USA Gymnastics. Do you have a reaction to that? Any reaction to that?
When we were in court, they were in another county across the way saying that they had no responsibility for anything that happened to us as athletes. And that's disgusting.
Have they contacted you at all to apologize?
No.
Yeah, we've heard that from so many. Ariana, let me ask you, so you are not a gymnast, you're a swimmer and an amazing swimmer.
Thank you.
And your situation is a little more layered, but equally disturbing, according to your allegations.
Yeah.
So you say that your coach, he was the head coach of the swim team?
Yeah, he was the head coach of my swim team outside of Seattle, and he took over when I was 13 years old. And, you know, I think something that is really important, and you've used the word grooming so many times, and, you know, people keep asking me, you know, why now? Why are you coming forward now? And it really is this process of grooming is when a predator takes over psychological, physical control of this person, and it's over time. It's not like all of a sudden it begins. It's this process of getting to know you, understanding everything about you, your likes, your dislikes, getting to know your family. My mom and Sean were very close. My sisters all swam. And then they start to isolate you. And I think that that's really important to create this dialogue, because we're taught to stay away from strangers. Your private parts are your own. But what happens when there's a person in power that the whole community sees as somebody that is, you know, powerful and doing the right thing, and they're the one who is abusing you?
And just to start in reverse chronological order, you wound up having a consensual sexual affair with him, living with him, but that's not the whole story.
Yeah, I would say that any relationship that begins at 13 years old is in no way, shape, or form consensual. And it actually wasn't until a year and a half ago that my husband had to step in and cut off communication between Sean and I, because he realized that while he was still contacting me, I couldn't make those decisions for myself. Because starting when I was 13 years old,
And how old is he when you were 13? How old?
He's 18 years older than me. Yeah. And he held all of my dreams in the palm of his hand. And I think, you know, when it comes to grooming, a way that Sean really did things, he started with handshakes and then, you know, smaller conversations off to the side. And so these are just ordinary things that we see every day. What really matters is the intent behind this, and, you know, being able to create spaces to have these open dialogues, to understand. You know, I think Ariana was behind closed doors with Sean at a swim meet. They said they were going over technique. Does your daughter do that? Does your son do that?
Talk.
Yeah, just talk. And that more than anything, like, let's create open dialogue between parents, between guardians, so that we can start to catch these signs.
And people need to be aware that these abusers actually do shame the victims into not talking. So they know that it's bad for them if people start to chat, and how that can go. I do want to read this. We have Sean Hutchinson is the name of the swim coach that we're talking about. He's issued this statement reading, "At no time did I ever abuse Ariana Kukors or do anything with her that was not consensual. I absolutely deny having any sexual or romantic relationship with her before she was old enough to legally make those decisions for herself. Prior to that time, I did nothing to groom her. After the 2012 Olympics, we were in a committed relationship, and Ariana lived at my residence in Seattle for more than a year. I deeply regret that she would make these wild allegations all these years later." USA Swimming also said, as we shared in February, we stand by Ariana's decision to come forward and share her truth. We'll continue to do everything possible to educate and engage our membership in the Safe Sport program and ensure a safe and positive environment for every child and athlete. Would you like to react to that?
Yes. I mean, I already said what I said about, you know, consensual relationship. I completely disagree with that. As far as the organizations, so I came public with my story a little over a month ago, and it was really important for me and part of my healing to speak my truth, to create dialogue. But right now, these last 2 weeks, I've been trying to educate myself and proactively understand what these organizations are doing. And how I understand it is that they do the minimum amount to protect athletes. For cover. And what I'm asking, there are so many athletes in danger right now, whether they're athletes, whether they're in piano, whether they're in debate club. There are these predators that are preying on them. And what I hope is that rather than the minimum amount, let's make this a priority. Let's create programs and systems in place so that people who are the whistleblowers, so that people who are coming forward feel like they have a safe place to communicate, so that these athletes know that if they come forward, they know the process that it would look like to go through. They have
This is all part of it, starting this dialogue, and thanks to your courage in speaking about it, I think it helps even parents understand you have to talk to your children, not just about stranger danger, but about danger in those in their lives who they've come to trust, and the importance of dialogue with you as their primary caregiver about their own well-being. Thank you for your bravery and all you've given us. Senators, thank you so much. Stay on it. We'll continue to follow up. All the best to you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.